Good morning guys and welcome back to Medellin, Colombia. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to go and have a look at Casa Museo de Pablo Escobar. I imagine you all know who Pablo Escobar was. I imagine it's probably the first thing you think about when you think about Medellin or Colombia. So it's my second time in Medellin. The first time I was told not to go to the museum because it might be glorifying Pablo Escobar and his activities in the country selling and producing cocaine to the United States and all the criminal activity he partook in generally. But I live like 3 minutes walk from the museum, so I figure I'm going to go and have a look, just to find out a bit more, because I'm generally intrigued about whether there's been any positives out of all the bad stuff that he did. So we're going to go and have a look and find out a little bit more about Pablo Escobar. So join me at the museum, if we're allowed to film.
Look at this, the Monaco building, Pablo Escobar's main house here in Colombia. You have to yell actually the magic word. You have to say plata o plomo. Guys, all together and count on 3, okay? 1, 2, 3.
Plata o plomo.
Well, guys, let's go inside.
Thank you for pressing the button.
No, I have a brother over here behind you. Okay guys, so this room over here is the most important room of the museum. It's just right here where Pablo Escobar used to hide the money. Okay? So this is the secret room. Okay? Over there, that painting over there is a replica of how they used to hide the money here in this area. As you can see, with $100 bills and gold bars.
Hey guys, so we're a couple of days on from visiting the Escobar Museum, and I feel like there's a couple of things that need addressing about this museum. So, firstly, I want to make it clear, the house that the museum is in is owned by Nicolas Escobar, who is the nephew of Pablo Escobar. So, it's fair to say that the museum does everything it can to paint the positive side of Escobar. Now the big question I had coming in was, how does the general public feel about Escobar now, like in the modern day? Obviously, it's clear that he's a drug lord who made billions of dollars by exporting cocaine and was responsible for a lot of deaths for anyone that opposed him. The poorer people considered him like a Robin Hood character who took from the rich and gave back to the poor. For example, in the garage in the museum, there's photos of houses that people have built out of trash in Medellin. But Escobar hated that, so he tore them down and built all these hundreds of people new houses. So there's positives to what he did, but then also he did the massive negatives of what he did as well. So our tour guide in the museum, who by the way called Escobar Mr. Pablo, told me that poor people still view him in a positive light because of all the things he did for them. But obviously, as a result, the rich people don't like him, and the middle class are kind of on the fence about how they feel about him. I was also really interested in finding out more about where the money that Escobar made ended up. So I learned that Escobar's nephew Nicolas, who owns the house the museum is in, actually paid the government $35 billion US. And for that reason, Nicolas Escobar and the rest of Pablo's family, like his brothers and his sisters, now still safely live in Medellin, whereas his wife, daughter and son escaped to Argentina and changed their names. And some of the money that Escobar made clearly still remains in the family, which is why they're able to live here comfortably now. I'm not sure how much of that is true and how much money there is, but the tour guide made it pretty clear that it's a lot. It's a lot of money. Now, some of that money was taken by the US and Colombian governments. So one thing I wondered also was whether the money that has been seized kind of been used to develop the city that I'm now living in at the moment. So Medellin's really proud of this metro system it's got, and other tour guides have been kind of coy about discussing whether any of that money has come from Escobar, which, yeah, it's probably fair enough. This tour guide, who seemed pretty much in the know about what's actually happened with Escobar, told me that the Colombian government has absolutely used some of that money it took to develop the country's infrastructure in some way. So who really knows? Like, I'm not really sure we'll ever know really definitively what has happened to all that money that he made. But take it how you will, and think whatever you do about Escobar. There's no denying he was a divisive character. He did a lot of bad things, but he also did some good things for people, and some people have massively improved their lives as a result of his actions. So it's a difficult one. It's a tricky topic, but to me it feels a little strange to have this museum basically celebrating a drug lord. So you do kind of have to take a lot of the things that you've seen and heard from the museum with a pretty big pinch of salt. Alright, that's going to wrap up today's video. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Escobar and everything we've seen in the museum, so do comment below, and do please like and subscribe the video. And until next time, I'm out for now.